The beginning of a poker player's career started with success, but like every success story, saw its downfall. However, this wasn't just any downfall. This player put himself in such a difficult position that he had to wipe himself off the planet and was considered missing. If you know which poker player went missing some time ago, you'll know what I'm talking about. This is the story of the tragic downfall of Brad Yukon Booth.
But for me, I've been playing poker every day now for, it's about 19 years. I think I've missed probably 70 days total in close to 2 decades.
Brad Booth was born in Canada in 1976. He got interested in poker as a teenager. He first played in Vancouver, then in Calgary. When he was 19, he moved to the Yukon. He played regularly in Yukon, earning the nickname Yukon Brad. He stayed in these remote places for nearly 10 years, traveling and playing poker along the way. Booth stated that a $10 to $20 pot limit Omaha game was the largest in his country at the time. It was at this game that he got the nickname Yukon Brad, and it wasn't until he went to Vegas at the age of 27 that the name became insanely popular. Booth stated in a 2011 interview that poker is his entire life. Poker has been my entire life, whether it was some days where I only played 3 hours or days when it was the full 24, there's always been a deck of cards or an online game going on, Booth said. It's sick, but it's who I am, and I'm okay with that. Poker is my life. In an interview, the player revealed that he was so enthralled with the game that he played it every day for 14 years. Given this, it is unsurprising that he eventually became a very successful poker player. However, before achieving such great success, Brad had to go through many difficult times in his life. He was quite young when his mother died tragically, and that was the point where he changed his identity and kept the name Yukon. This is one of the reasons Booth left the big city. He spent nearly a decade in distant Canada playing poker whenever possible. At first, Yukon Brad could only afford to play games with a $20 or less pot. Brad's talents improved with time, and when he was 27, he moved to Las Vegas, the world's most gambling-friendly city. Although Brad Booth now spends most of his time playing poker at Canadian online casinos, he started off playing in casinos that were real and land-based rather than online. Brad was determined to become one of the world's finest poker players, so he played for 24 hours straight. There were a few occasions when he played only 1 or 2 hours every day. Of course, his determination benefited him greatly. He was invited to appear in the 13th episode of the 3rd season of the U.S. cash game television show High Stakes Poker. This appearance has helped him gain even more popularity. Additionally, Brad also participated in an episode of Poker After Dark's 2nd season titled International Week. He placed second, behind Patrick Antonius, who is a Finnish professional poker player. Brad was also appointed director and spokesperson for poker programming at the gambling website Great 8 in 2009, when it was one of the most prominent U.S. gambling sites. According to the information we've gathered, Brad Booth's live poker tournament winnings exceed $700,000. Nonetheless, a few years later, Booth admitted to borrowing money from several people and failing to pay the majority of them back. Brad was a great successful poker player who gained recognition for his skills and achievements in the game. However, a series of unfortunate events, shady decisions, and bad poker play led to his terrific downfall. Yukon Brad lost approximately $4.3 million playing online poker in less than 5 years. Booth's losses, however, were not his most serious concern. The professional poker player got entangled in a huge cheating controversy with Ultimate Bet. This was one of the largest poker cheating scandals in gambling history. According to statistics, Booth got conned out of over $2 million. Although the Ultimate Bet fraud was discovered, the player never received his money back. The reason was that many questionable websites, including Ultimate Bet, were shut down. According to Ultimate Bet, software was being used to convey whole card information to individuals using it. Booth was meant to receive a payout from the company and apparently received a small amount, but when Black Friday happened, he never received anything else. Booth has also encountered some difficulty with borrowed cash as a result of Ultimate Bet's losses. According to a 2+2 post, Booth borrowed approximately $30,000 from Doug Polk while knowing he would be unable to repay it. According to Polk's post, Booth first received $13,000 transferred from Polk in exchange for $13,000 cash. Following the successful transfer, Booth requested a $30,000 transfer, to which Polk agreed. When the two met to exchange money, Booth allegedly told Polk about his debts and limited financial resources. Booth left the country and changed his phone number at the same time. After the ultimate bet affair and the massive financial losses he sustained, Booth went incognito. He abruptly disappeared from the public eye and stopped playing at high-stakes online casinos. In 2020, Brad Booth was reported missing. Booth was last seen in Reno at his flat on July 13, 2020. His roommate told police Booth informed him he was going on a 3-day camping trip but only carried a few supplies. According to the roommate, the poker pro then left in his pickup and did not return. His whereabouts remained unclear, and he did not communicate with any acquaintances or family members during his disappearance. A missing persons report was made on July 30th, but a month later, there were still no leads on this case. According to the July 30th report, Booth was last seen leaving the Grand Sierra Resort in Reno, Nevada in a 2002 silver Toyota Tacoma truck. Booth's roommate informed investigators that Brad stated that he was going camping, but the roommate was concerned that the goods Booth brought with him would likely only last a day or two. This statement implied that Booth's survival during a camping trip would be challenging, or that Booth was not telling the truth about what he was doing, which raised more questions among people. Booth's troubled past left many in the poker industry fearing the worst. People were concerned that anything had happened to him. Therefore, a Facebook page called Let's Find Brad Booth was created. There were many questions about his disappearance. Nobody knew where he went and what he was doing, or if he was even alive. The search went on for over a month and the questions kept rising. What if he got hurt or kidnapped? What if something unspeakable had happened? There was unrest among the poker community as well as the family members of Brad Booth. The theories never stopped coming. There were so many things people assumed about the disappearance of Brad. Booth's previous financial and alcohol problems, as well as a comment he made in 2011 about feeling at the end of his rope, were major sources of concern for his friends and family during his disappearance. The poker pro was also known to march to the beat of his own drum, so the hope was that he simply went off by himself for a long holiday after a hectic year. His location remained unclear to his friends and family. He could have been out in the wilderness on a long camping trip escaping reality for a while, or he might have been in danger. Many poker players feared the worst. Some speculated that he had committed suicide and was sad about how his life had changed from playing for hundreds of thousands of dollars years ago to being indebted to numerous poker players. Others suspected he'd been the victim of a brutal crime. Thankfully, 2 months later in September 2020, Brad was said to be found alive and healthy. That was when those who truly cared for him could finally breathe a sigh of relief. April Horn offered a statement to the poker world via Facebook, relayed by Booth's family. She informed everyone that he was alive and well, but did not go into detail about the issue. Horn simply stated that Booth took some time for himself, but did not explain where he went or whether he was ever in danger. We cannot thank you enough for your support and well wishes in locating him. Please note, we do not have any further information at this time. 2020 has been a challenging year for everyone. Let's hope it turns around soon. Horn wrote. Where do you think Booth disappeared to? Was it because he wanted to run away from his debts, or because he wanted to live a peaceful life away from poker? Tell us what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel before you leave.